The night everything changed. Sometimes history turns on a single moment, not because something happened, but because something didn't. There is a night, almost forgotten, when the world stood inches from a future we can barely imagine. A night when a weapon unlike anything before it sat hidden in the darkness, silent, loaded, waiting for an order that never came. This is the story of a secret invention so powerful that it terrified even the people who created it. A weapon that could have redrawn borders, rewritten alliances, and reshaped life as we know it. A weapon that, by a thread, never entered the battlefield. And the strange part? Most people have never heard its name. Tonight, we open the files. It began in 1944, in a world collapsing under the weight of war. Nations were desperate. Scientists were pushed beyond their limits. And deep inside underground facilities, teams of engineers were told a simple message: do something impossible, and do it fast. Some worked on rockets, some on missiles, some on things so dangerous they were locked behind 3 steel doors. But inside one hidden lab, a small group of brilliant minds were building something else. A machine so advanced that even modern engineers still debate how it worked. Rumors described it as a weapon capable of ending battles before they began. A device that combined physics, engineering, and something close to madness. The Allies didn't know it existed. Most enemy generals didn't know it existed. Even the soldiers meant to deploy it never touched it. Only a handful of people ever saw it with their own eyes. And that brings us to the night. The night everything was supposed to change. According to declassified reports, the weapon was ready, tested, operational. A convoy transported it under tarps, escorted by guards who had no idea what they were protecting. It arrived at a remote base where officers waited for a signal. The sky was unusually clear, cold, silent. Inside the command bunker, a single coded message would decide its fate. One word: execute. If that message had arrived, the world today might look nothing like it does. Some historians believe the weapon could have reversed the outcome of the war. Others argue it might have triggered something far worse. A chain reaction of escalation, fear, counterweapons, and technologies humanity wasn't ready to control. But the message never came. Something stopped it, something no file fully explains. Some say it was sabotage. Some say a last-minute moral stand. Others believe high command simply lost faith in the project. Whatever happened, the order was canceled. The convoy was recalled. The weapon was sealed away. And then, it vanished. No explosion, no battlefield, no victory or defeat. Just silence. A silence that lasted decades. When investigators later reviewed documents, they found fragmented notes, sketches, half-burned blueprints, reports from scientists who feared what they had built. One engineer wrote, "If deployed, the consequences will outlive the war itself." Another said simply, "This cannot be allowed to exist." But here's the part that still haunts historians. Some versions of the blueprint were missing. Recorded tests showed results beyond what physics at the time could explain. And at least one eyewitness claimed the weapon wasn't destroyed, only hidden, locked away in a vault whose location remains unknown. We like to think the world is shaped by action, but sometimes we are saved by hesitation, by a decision not to push a button, by a moment when fear outweighs ambition. Maybe humanity was lucky. Maybe someone, somewhere, realized that no side should ever wield something so powerful. Or maybe the weapon still exists, waiting in the shadows of history, waiting for the night when someone finds it again. Whatever the truth is, one fact remains. Sometimes the greatest events in history are the ones that never happened. And maybe that's the lesson. Power rescued us once, not by being used, but by being stopped. So tonight we remember the most dangerous weapon the world never saw, the invention that could have rewritten humanity, but instead became a warning, a reminder that the future often hangs not on what we do, but on what we choose not to do. A silence that saved the world.